In this video, I'm going to show you the best way for a real estate agent to explain the real estate market to buyers, sellers, and investor clients in a way that makes it easy to explain complex data in a visual way that will establish trust and credibility with your clients. Not only will I show you the exact visual aids I use so that clients can follow along very easily, but if you stick to the end, I will also show you step by step how to create the visuals for any market or property type that is relevant to your client. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, my name is Mark Parsons. I'm a licensed realtor and I help other realtors step up their systems, processes, and online marketing to close more deals and get more sales. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that like button, click to subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so that you will not miss any new content. If you're hungry for more systems and strategies to scale your real estate business, join the Facebook group linked in the description below, or check out roundtableagents.com to see how agents who are partnering with us are able to leverage done-for-you systems to scale their business. And if you have any questions or comments, comment below. I love the engagement and respond to 100% of my YouTube comments. Now let's get into it. In order to guide buyers and sellers to make the best decisions when buying or selling real estate, you can't just tell them what to do and expect them to trust you. You have to establish that trust and show them in a way that is easy to digest. If you have a clear and concise way to educate your clients on how to read the real estate market, and then from that newly established common understanding, you show them how you came to your conclusions in a way that they understand, you will earn their trust and confidence when advising them, and you'll also empower your clients to make better and more informed decisions through a higher level of understanding that they achieved because you took the time to really care that you're discussing these important decisions from a shared level of understanding. This is how you can operate as a team with your clients and build deeper, long-term relationships that earn referral business for years to come. So the goal here is to have a plan and the tools to efficiently and effectively explain the real estate market to clients and potential clients in a way that establishes trust in your expertise and gives the client a solid foundation or understanding of the market, making it much easier to guide them in the right direction so that they can make the best decisions to achieve their real estate goals. So the first thing you want to do is break it down to the simplest market concept that almost all people will understand: supply and demand. In real estate, supply is your inventory, demand is your sales. If you take the ratio between inventory and sales, you get what is called the sales ratio, also known as the absorption rate, the rate at which active listings are absorbed off the market through successful sales. The sales ratio, or the absorption rate, whatever you want to call it, measures the speed of the market and is how we determine if we're in a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a balanced market. Anytime the absorption rate is above 20%, which represents 5 months or less of inventory on the market, this is considered a seller's market. And if the market stays in this range for a sustained period of time, typically 3 months or more, you will start to see upward pressure on prices. Anytime the absorption rate goes below 12%, which represents about 8 months or more of inventory on the market, this is considered a buyer's market. And if the market stays in this range for a sustained period of time, typically 3 months or more, you'll start to see downward pressure on prices. And when the absorption rate stays between 12 and 20%, this is what we consider a balanced market, and prices should generally remain rather stable. Now, sometimes there is debate in the industry about what is the exact sales ratio or absorption rate that determines whether you're in a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a balanced market. If you believe the numbers should be a little different in your market, when I get to the tutorial part of this video, you'll see exactly how you can input the numbers as you see fit. Now, the last part is connecting the supply versus demand and the absorption rate info to pricing. All that info is great, but until you connect it to market prices, it doesn't hold nearly as much weight. Once you connect all that info to pricing, this is when it really sinks in for the client. The key is to make sure that the pricing and the other data is over the same timeline, so it shows how interconnected it all is with prices. When they can see how it all visually and how it connects to home prices, now they can read the market with you. Once that sinks in, you have now created a common understanding from which you can provide credible advice, and they and they can make informed decisions. They will feel much more comfortable taking your advice, and this is truly the foundation of incredible client relationships. So now that we have that covered, let me share my screen and show you exactly how step by step you can generate these charts for any market specific to your client's location and property type to start getting results in your business. All right, guys, so now you can see my screen. So anyway, guys, I'm from the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. We have here a stats center. If you're at a different board, they will likely have something similar where you can generate market data by choosing property types, bedroom counts. You can get really specific area. I can get much more specific by city. So the reason I'm pointing that out is the generic data. Right now I'm going to do a generic one because I'm just doing it for the sake of example. But in my area, if you're doing stat reports on the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, which is where I'm at, but you're selling a home a home in Coquitlam, well, those aren't going to be the same. So it's really important to generate hyper specific and super relevant data for your clients. They'll very much appreciate it. So anyway, let's get started on this. So again, you could pick whatever city area you wanted, right down to sub areas of cities, but I'm just going to, for the sake of the example, do Real Estate Board Greater Vancouver. I'm going to pick detached homes. And I'll just do all. That'll be it. But of course, if your client was buying something more specific, you could go as specific, or selling, you could go as specific as you want. So the first thing that we want to do is establish supply and demand. Supply is going to be total inventory. You can do it over 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years maximum. I usually do it over 3 years. It gives the client enough data to see where they're at in comparison to where they were. Some might prefer 5, some might prefer 1. I'm going to go with 3 years. So share, I'm going to take it in a CSV. Grab the raw data, download the CSV file. Sure, that's fine. And then we will open the window when done. Okay, so what I am going to do, I'm going to name this inventory because we're going to add more stuff to it. Inventory. Did I spell that right? Inventory. Okay, so now we're going to come back to the stats center. We've got the inventory. Now we are going to look at sales because it's supply, inventory versus sales. Again, it's over the 3-year period there. Just go share, CSV, download. I'm going to open it when done. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in sales here. I'm just going to copy this. Copy. Then I'm going to go over to the one with inventory and I'm just going to go paste. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go buyer's market. Seller's market. So I'll show you the exact, and then I like to call it absorption rate. Great. I mean, you could call it sales ratio if you want. So it's important that absorption rate is on the right-hand side because it will actually show over top of these bars, but I'll show you that here. So again, we established that 12% was the buyer's market, but you can make that, if you want to change these numbers, you can, but 12%. And then below 12% is buyer's market. You'll see where I'm going here in a second. 0.2, 20% will be the marker of a seller's market. And then the absorption rate is going to equal the sales divided by inventory. And I want to turn that into a percentage and have that calculate along here. Okay, so here's now is where it's going to get fun. I'll put this down here out of the way. So all we have to do once we have that data there, you got your dates, inventory, sales, what represents buyer's market, what represents seller's market, and absorption rate. So we just go insert. I pick a chart here. So I like to make mine, I like this chart. And for this part, I will put RE, Real Estate Board, Greater Vancouver, detached homes. I like to make it a little bigger to work with here. So I like to make these a little bigger. So I just right click font. I'm going to put this to 12. I like to make this bigger font. Put this to 12. Down here, font. I just like to make it a little bigger. Okay, so now what we're going to do is click one of those, right click and put, I think it's, let's see, change chart series. Yes. So on the buyer's market, seller's market, and absorption rate, what we want is them to be on a second axis on a percentage level over here. This is inventory and sales. So that's number of houses, inventory, and sold. So the blue and the orange are off of this. We want these three off of a secondary axis, and we want them on a different chart. We want them to be on a line chart like this. So, okay. So now what I do, I don't mark buyer's market and seller's market here and make them a different color. There's too much going on. So what I do is I will turn that to yellow. And I mean, pick whatever colors you want, of course. I make those the same, and then I just delete them from the thing, and then I will just explain to clients that above that is buyers, below that is a sellers, but I don't want the legend too complicated. I'm going to take this one and over here. So when you click on something, you get the information over here. So colors, I want to make that red. Now, the reason that I have absorption rate here and not over here, if absorption rate is here, then these lines will go above the absorption rate. So by having it on the far right, the absorption rate is going above the yellow lines, which is what I like. I will make this bigger font. And there you go. Now, there is one other thing that I do want to say. Like if you wanted your legend move here, you can go top. I like it bottom. And down here, if you're ever getting not all the dates, sometimes when I get it, it will only show 12. It won't show them all. I want it to basically show them all. If it ever doesn't, you just go text access here, and it will generate all the dates. So you would just click on this. It's not doing it here for whatever reason. You would come here, access options, and then you hit text, and that would bring them all in. So anyway, now we have got this part of the graph. So we just do this, come up here, go home, copy, and then I can come to a Google Drive. I can just open up, let's see, Google Slides. Let's delete this. And file, page setup. So you can just come here and make it custom however you want it to fit. So maybe I will go 600 wide by, let's go to pixels. What I'm saying is you can make it whatever you want to fit what you want on it. Let's go 600 by 800, and we'll go apply, and then you'll see it looks a little different. So I've already copied the other one. I just go insert image. Actually, I can probably just paste. There you go. And now what we want to do is get pricing rate below it to match up on that timeline. So let's get back to the stats center here. Again, we're looking at all of the same stuff. We are going to go sale price. Now you can pick medium price, or you can pick average price, whatever the case, pick whatever you prefer. Share, we're going to again go CSV. Download. Sure. And this one will be very quick. We open it up. And this here I would put prices. And again, we're going to insert chart. not 2D. Okay, no, one here. We're going to insert. Yeah, I want a line. So first thing I'm going to want, I do like to increase these again so that they're going to match the other. You can put them to what you want, 12 font. Okay, 12. Okay, so in this example, I don't think, did it put all of the dates there? So a couple things we're going to want to do here. Since I'm going to lay this right below it, it doesn't even need to say prices. It's going to be prices. So what you do want to do, you want to turn these into dollar signs so that it will show up there. So home, dollar signs, and then I want to take away the cents. Now, what else do I want to do? Another thing, a line that's starting from 0 just doesn't really fit here. So you want to give this relevance. Where did I do that before? Or maybe it's from this one here. So click that, come over to here. So the minimum, so you click this, you want the minimum. Let's see, these are just around 1.5. So let's try making the minimum 1.4. Is that one? Yeah, that's 1.4. Okay, now we've got something that shows a little bit more. Now this, I'm going to come here and see what I talked about before, text access. It put all the dates there, which is what we want. So this is really all we need here to line up with the other one. So I will, now that I have it selected, I will go home. I will go copy. Then I come back over, come back to here, my drive here. I'm going to paste this in. Now the key here, what I want to do, this is important to make it visual. I want to make the end of that and the end of this line up with the pricing. So it's, I don't know why that middle one is there. Let's get him out. So I'm going to shrink this a bit here. And, you know, I can even make it a little wider file page setup pixels. I have it at 600 and 800. So let's try 800 and 800. All right. So again, we're just looking to line up this and that so they can really see the supply, demand, the absorption rate, and how it goes with prices. So we've got that lined up there. And that's pretty much, it doesn't have to be perfect, but now when we just go view, let's go view full screen. What? Anyway, so that's it. I thought it was going to go into presentation mode, but view slideshow. Okay, there we go. So now we're looking at this, and you can see that when it was below here, we saw prices trend down. When it was in here, I mean, prices were more stable. And once it got above into a seller's market, so once it went into buyer's market, there was a trend down. Then it was kind of more stable throughout this period here. And once it broke up into a seller's market, this is when we started to see pressure on prices, because it was in a seller's market 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, well over a year, and that's how we start to go out and see prices there. So that's it, guys. You already know how to explain it, what we're looking at. We've got our supply and demand with our inventory versus sales, which creates a sales ratio or the absorption rate, which is how we measure if it's a seller's market. Above the yellow line, sellers; below this yellow line, buyers; in the middle, balance. And this is how we show it in relation to prices. When you can explain this to your client, simply in 5 minutes, they will have a very clear idea of what is going on in their market. And again, this is for Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, but you could make this for 2-bedroom condos in whatever city you're in or in whatever sub area you're in. Just make sure you have enough data there so it is relevant data, relevant information to pass on. But that's it, guys. Hopefully that explains everything. Any questions, let me know. So there you have it. Now you know exactly how to break down the real estate market to buyers, sellers, and investor clients in a way that makes it easy to explain complex data in a visual way that will establish trust and credibility with your clients, as well as how to create create it on your own so you can customize it for each client. If you want to learn more systems, strategies, online marketing to help close more deals and scale your real estate business, join the Facebook group linked in the description below, or check out roundtableagents.com to see how agents who are partnering with us are able to leverage done for you systems to scale their business. Do not hesitate to reach out if I can help in any way at all. That is what I'm here for. Feel free to book a one-on-one call below. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, comment below. I respond to 100% of my YouTube comments. If you don't reach out, I can't help. If you got any value from this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you